Let's just jump in straight to the room, Storykeeper.
Design was incredible. I would say this one, you walk into that first room in Locurio. Now, this one did not have a separate lobby. The Vanishing Act one had a separate lobby for the room. This one, you actually walk into the first room of the escape room. And the timer doesn't start right away. You kind of get an acting scene, great acting that happens ahead of time, and she kind of gives some instructions within her acting.
Yes, you walk into the room, and there is an actor who happened to be Summer, the owner of Locurio.
Phenomenally good.
Who was just waiting for us in character and just began right in saying, "Oh, who are you?" And you have to introduce yourself, and you jump right into the room.
The detail of every square inch of this room is designed like meticulously. There's no exposed wires. Nothing looks out of place as if you were actually walking in. I don't think we should give too much away from the story because the surprise of what the storyline is a big part of it. You can say in the first room you walk into a library,
Right.
So the story is about a book collector, and you're in this book collector's library.
Right, and here's what I'll say. Sometimes you walk into a room and you feel like these designers have gone to several garage sales and picked up interesting looking things, and then they made a story based on the stuff they found at a flea market or garage sale or something like that. Not so with Locurio. They start with the story, and then they find elements. They design elements around the story, and it took so much customization to do this. We
like
got
the books themselves were customized, like color coordinated, and incredibly like the names of the books and everything. Like they custom made books, hundreds and hundreds of books.
Went to great lengths to find specific books for this book room. Summer told us that she has her brother involved in designing, and some of the artwork that's in the lobby just really well done.
She said her mom painted some paintings that are
Her
on the
mom
wall.
did some sculpting. There's a couple of busts in the room that she said her mother actually had to custom sculpt.
Yeah.
To get it there. So attention to detail was about as good as we've seen.
I've never seen a room with that good attention to detail, and every little inch of that room designed so perfectly.
Yeah.
I'd say both of the rooms at Locurio had this unique thing where the first room you walk into is like a low pressure, get you familiar with the scenario. The clock's running, but you're not fully immersed yet. You're waiting to get to the second room to realize, oh, I've just entered so your two different rooms are like entirely different worlds from each other.
And once you get into the next room and then the next room, you just get further and further into the story.
More immersed as you go.
Both
of these rooms had this change moment where the lighting changes, the sound changes, where you have now entered a deeper dimension of this world that you are in. So like you're in the real world, you're interacting in what seems like a real world, and then all of a sudden in the middle of your room, you enter a whole new world. And the way that they use lighting and sound effects and all of that to make it appear, even her in acting, she like froze when we entered the new world. And so then we're opened up into this new world, and it's just a beautiful.
If you're familiar with that scene from The Lion, Witch, of the Wardrobe, which there was a poster or a picture of that.
Yep.
But there's the moment when you are in the world, and then you go through the wardrobe into a different world, and in the Locurio rooms, there's that kind of element where you just felt like I just left my world and went to this other world, and you just get to live the fantasy for a few minutes.
And the storytelling as you leave one world into the next. This one was unique about this one. There is a mechanism that is telling you a story as you're going from one world to the next, and you're actually hearing this story, and you wanted to kind of slow down in that moment, and I never want to slow down in an escape room. I'm competitive. I'm like, get the puzzles done, beat it, solve. It was so immersive that it made me want to slow down and enjoy the moment for a second, and that never happens to me. So just an incredible storytelling.
This is another one that takes, they give you about 70 minutes, give or take, because I don't know when the timer actually starts. And you have to uncover a couple of puzzles to get to the place where you actually see the countdown mechanism start. And then you carry that with you through the rest of the room.
The puzzles were so well engineered that they felt more like set designs. They felt more immersive than a normal puzzle. And so just the interaction with the puzzles themselves was a lot of fun. I don't know how touching this is doing that, but it's working.
Yeah.
They also had a physical challenge in this one that took some maneuvering. I don't want to say too much. That was a lot of fun. I like physical challenges in an escape room. I don't want a whole room of physical challenges, but there was one physical challenge that was a lot of fun. Just kind of escape the monotony of brain teaser type puzzles and enter an actual physical challenge puzzle.
Yeah. Again, recommend 4 people to do this. 2, we had a blast.
Yeah.
But 2, it was difficult, and we were the 70 minutes went by just in the blink, it felt like, because we were so busy so much of the time.
And I think because there's so much detail in the room, the temptation is to kind of gloss over some of the detail and expect that it's only design. But every detail, you need to pay attention to it. Like, we just totally overlooked some things. We're like, there's no way they went to that much thought.
Again, wanted to go slow. You don't have time to go slow.
Yeah.
But just to enjoy all the elements. So then when you get to the last room, you just think, what more can they do? And there was one moment in that last room where we both literally jumped.
Yeah.
Because there was not super scary. I mean, it's
not
kind
like
of
horror scary.
Not like horror scary. Just like you're in a fairy tale and something you don't expect to be there is there, and you're just like, is that real? And it's just a cool moment. They've thought of a lot of stuff in that room.
And we haven't talked about just how huge that room is.
Big room.
Huge space. I kept thinking, there's no way this can just keep going.
But she said it took them 14 months to design this room and to set it up. And somebody puts that much time, effort, and love into a room like that, just so you could have 70 minutes of enjoyment, you just have to appreciate it.
Yep. And the one thing that I think this room had over the last room we played at Locurio was it didn't have those long, tedious puzzles that the Magic Room had. This
Some
one
very
had a couple
time-consuming
puzzles, but it wasn't just slow, tedious, like, why am I still having to do this? They kind of eliminated that. And this is their newer room, and I think that's probably one of the things they figured out when they were designing this newer room.
Yeah. So what would you give this overall rating? What would you do this?
Definitely 5 out of 5.
Absolutely 5
no
out of
question,
5.
5 out of 5.
Yeah, I don't have very much critique that I would say do this or that differently. I just enjoyed every minute in that room.
I think we should say something about her clue giving. Just about how, number one, generous they are with their clue giving. They want you to have fun. They're not there just to try to challenge you and get you to fail.
Yeah, you don't want a room that the designers act like they're a gatekeeper. Like, nah, we don't want everybody to see this room. Because I don't know that it's a badge of honor to say only 20% finish this room or 40% finish this room. It's like, who cares? Was it difficult? Was it challenging? Did it keep you engaged the whole time? That's the measure of a great room, not only 40% finish the room.
Yeah, and I think that introduces us into the entertainment thing. Just like I could tell. There's so many rooms I do, and I'm like, what was the story? Like, who were those characters?
No, you knew the story.
You knew this. You were fully immersed in the story. I knew everything that was happening. I was not confused about any of the storyline. It was a simple enough storyline that you can get it on the side while you're doing your puzzles, and the puzzles are actually telling you the story.
Yeah.
In all of her rooms, you don't expect what you're going to get. They throw it at you at a moment you're like, I thought I had seen all the cool stuff in this room, and now boom, all of a sudden we're in a whole new world.
Just one example of attention to detail. There are a couple of places where you have to get down on your hands and knees and look really low at something.
Yeah.
Well, they put a sponge mat that's just blended into the design of the room because they know you're going to have to be on your knees for a few minutes in this area. So here's something that's going to be easy on your knees.
They care about your knees. They're going to put some sponge on the ground.
How great is that for detail?
That was awesome. Yeah, I think these guys just are brilliant. And the reason why we chose Seattle is because there's so many incredible rooms here. And when you talk to escape room enthusiasts, Locurio is one of those places that they're like, you just have to go there. It's unique.
It's unique.
I've never been in a room like Locurio. It breaks some of the rules, not in a bad way, but it's a totally unique experience to most escape rooms I've ever done.
Yeah. Yeah.
5 out of 5. Highly recommend Locurio.
Storykeeper.
Definitely Storykeeper. This is my favorite of the 2 rooms. Both rooms were 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Storykeeper was the best one.
Yeah. Step above.
Yep.